it's my birthday this week and I'm feeling quite fragile. I do not like birthdays, they all make me sad. And it's my birthday this week and it's not one that's important, it's just a normal birthday. It's nothing to be scared about, but I really, really don't like birthdays. They make me melancholy and not at all chilled, and I really do not like my birthdays because they make me focus on the things I never did, which is quite a lot of things. Hello, it's my birthday this week. Happy, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy, happy birthday, happy birthday to me, to you, to me. Yeah, so it's I'm gonna go to Wales this week to visit my parents. I haven't seen them since Christmas, so that'll be fun. But I don't know what I'll be doing for the 2 weeks. Probably just brooding and feeling melancholy. That's usually what happens. Anyway, so I'm going to go home on Tuesday, and it's my birthday on, what's the date today? It's my birthday on Wednesday or Thursday. This is the second, third, fourth, Thursday. So it's a whole week of birthday celebrations. When I say celebrations, I mean me going, oh no, what have I done? It's today, for instance. I was just sitting there, just sort of like, and it was like a sort of memento mori. Hello, one person's put a like, but it's showing up as no people here. Oh, there's one person. Yeah, so a memento mori, which is remember you must die. Be very, very aware of that. So I was sitting there going, what is the point? What is the point? I don't know. I'm just very, very sad and very, very much everything's low. So hello, thank you very much, Philip. It's not till Thursday, like I said, but you start thinking about things beforehand. And it didn't help that yesterday I was on the bus with on the way home from a meeting, and somebody that she's not, I mean, I wouldn't call her a friend. If she sees this, I'm sorry, but I really wouldn't call her a friend, because yesterday she was like on the bus saying, oh, you know, you're looking, I said something about my face. I don't know what playing age. We were talking about playing age. I don't know what my playing age is, because the trouble is, I've never known, I've got a sort of old baby face. Like I look like a baby, but an old baby. So I said this as a sort of joke. She was like, yeah, you have, haven't you? You do, yeah. And then she started saying, oh yeah, and your hair's used to be so pretty, but it's such a mess, and yeah, and it's all right. Don't worry about it, because also you've been ill lately, haven't you? So that's probably why you look so rough. And I'm just like, what? And she's going on about my hair, and I'm like, what's wrong with my hair? As in, shut up and stop talking about my hair. And she's like, oh well, and she carried on talking about my hair and just saying, and her partner was with her, and he was saying like, stop it, and she carried on. To be honest, she's that sort of person that judges people. She is a very, very judgy person. It's part of her religion, and she's very, very judgy, and she's very judgy indeed. And I'm not surprised, because there was a funeral of a friend a couple of years ago that she went to. And on the way back from the funeral, she started saying, oh, well, it's very sad that she's going to go to hell. It was like, what? Because apparently this person had an affair with a married man or something one time. So, it's very, no matter how amazing she is, she's going to go to hell apparently. It's like, I don't need your judgment. I don't need your pity. I don't need you to look at me and say that I'm ugly or pretty. I just need you to shut up quite quickly. And that's what I really, really needed. But it's fine, because I got off the bus and went home. And I wasn't that upset about it, because I don't look great. To be honest, the other day I was making a video on a different site, and I put a wig on and some lipstick, because I thought that would be fun. But I looked awful. I looked absolutely dreadful, and I was looking at my face going, what? So yes, I'm aware that my face isn't in the full flush of youth, and I'm aware that I'm not the most beautiful thing in the world. But beauty is a trap, and beauty fades anyway, and everyone has to cope with that. And to be honest, I don't really care. I mean, if I really cared about my appearance, I'd make more effort. And that's one of the things that this very helpful friend said as well. Thank you very much, Stephanie. I think so too. But no, this very helpful friend is like, oh well, you should put some makeup on. And my mum's always like that. You should put why don't you put some lipstick on? You should brush your hair. Now the thing is, my hair, if I brush it, it goes sort of like bushy, and it looks worse than if I don't brush it. So leave me alone. Also, I've got, I've been putting rosemary oil to try and this alopecia or something there, a little bit. So yes, exactly, that's what mums say, isn't it? If my mum says, hello mother, my mother is a lipstick person. She puts lipstick on and she does her hair and everything. She always makes an effort, you see, and she's like, oh, you're not like me. Like, she buys me cut clothes, which I'm not interested in, really, because they're mainly because they're the sort of clothes that she'd wear. She's like, you're not like me, you don't try things on. It's like, no, I'm not like you. I'm sorry, Mum. You know that I'm not. I think you would have learnt this by now. I'm really not. Maybe it could be that. She's always very well put together and everything, and she wears brooches and very smart. My mum's very smart. That's what my dad's like, oh, what I like about you, Jill, is you haven't let yourself go. It's like, yeah, she's very beautiful. She's very well put together. She's a beautiful lady. But I'm not. And, a lot of people are like, oh, well, oh, you're so beautiful to me. And I'm like, But I don't make an effort and I don't care. Exactly. This is mother behaviour. This is what mothers do, isn't it? Yeah. Happy 35. Okay, thank you very much, Danger Otter. That's it. This is it. I was like, I don't know how old my playing age would be, but I'll take it. If you tell me that I look 90, I might be a little bit insulted, but I'll just take it, because you just have to take whatever people throw at you. You can't be insulted. And this is what this person that was insulting me was like, oh, you have to take these things, especially if you're going to be in acting. You have to take these things. You have to be, I was going to say hard-headed. That's not it. You have to, you have to take it. But it's like, well, I'm clearly taking it. I'm doing nothing but taking these insults. I'm fine about it, really. Danger Otter is very, very, very insulting, and I'm going to cry now. No, that's not nice, is it? I can't stand birthdays either, especially that. What a thing to say! 55, you cheeky bugger. Okay, just like, oh, flipping heck. I don't know. People. This is it. I mean, I can't. You have to have a sense of humour. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I'm like, no, do I? This is it. If people insult me, I tend to go, I'm fighting back, like, but what tends to happen when people insult, it's 55 dog years, yeah. When people insult me and go, oh, yeah, you're ugly or you're fat, it's like, I go, oh, no. And they're like, we're only joking. It's like, what's funny? That's it. It's April the 1st yesterday. The jokes that people make that aren't funny at all. Like, I was looking at a different site and there was a thing that said that there was going to be a River Song spin-off, and I'm like, well, it's April the 1st, isn't it? It's like, that's not funny though. A River Song spin-off would be fabulous. Why is that a joke? And then Ollie, who lives here, Ollie, my landlord, my friend, he saw one that was Doctor Who's 50th or 10th best, stop caring about it, 10 most sexy women. And that's a joke, apparently. It's like, ha ha, April Fool, ha ha. It's like, what are you talking about? A Chuck E. Cheese wedding? Okay. Yeah, did Chuck E. Cheese get married? Now, I've never liked birthdays ever since one of my birthdays was the same day as Easter. And that's not great. Easter's a couple of days. Easter's about 4 or 5 days. But the trouble with it, if your birthdays clash, it means that everybody else is important and not just you. Like, everyone that's got a Christmas birthday is very, very upset because they can ban your presents and it's nothing to do with you. It's Jesus' birthday as well, and he's more important than you, even if you're a Jew. Because Jesus was too. That just rhymes. I don't know why I rhymed that, but he was. And so are you. If you are, that makes sense. If you're not, then what am I supposed to say? It's a good chance that some people will be. Anyway. It's not, what am I saying? Now I'm going to get cancelled now. I said said anything insulting. Why would I? Because there's nothing insulting to be said. It was just a rhyme, and it wasn't a horrible rhyme. It was just Christmas is for pretty much everyone, no matter who you are. Even if you're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, you sort of have to these days. And my point is that everybody, it's just everywhere. You're just like Christmas in your face. Now, Easter also in your face. You've got chocolate eggs. In Britain, chocolate eggs, very big. I think in America they're quite small. They're like little tiny ones and stuff. And you get Easter bunnies and peeps, I've been told. But in this country, you get gigantic Easter eggs. And that's it. I remember sitting on the stairs this birthday, opening a gigantic Easter egg and just crying. I couldn't have been very old. I don't know, I was 6 or whatever. I was young, but I was very upset. I was melancholy, and I was just sitting on the stairs going, because all my family were there, and they all had Easter presents too, and nobody was saying, oh, happy birthday to me. It was all Easter. And I felt sympathy, but I also felt empathy, because my cousins, I've got twin cousins who were born, I think they're the 23rd. So their entire lives, apart from anything else, there's 2 of them. So they never get a birthday to themselves in the first place, because it's the twins. And it's also 2 or 3 days before Christmas. So it's here's a birthday present for both of the twins. That's also a Christmas present, a Christmas birthday present. It's not fair, is it? It's not fair. And that's what happened on my birthday that year. But my birthday's always around Easter time, so and it's also, my brother has got a birthday that's quite close to mine. So some years we'd have a birthday party that was his birthday party too, which one year he decided it was his 18th birthday party and my 21st birthday party. My brother decided he didn't want to party. And so they cancelled the joint birthday party, because apparently I hadn't had a party when I was 18. The party I had when I was 18 was all my family, and I was miserable because I wanted a big birthday party that had my friends to come to it. But it was my entire family, so it was a big get-together for the whole of my family. So my family had a lovely time. It was my family's party. It didn't feel like my party. So I thought with my 21st, I'm going to invite friends, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be great. And also, I think there was an election that day, and the party that my parents supported had not got in, so they weren't very happy either. So it was a bit of a miserable day. My 21st was rubbish. I was like, yay, it's going to be the birthday for me, and I'm going to have everyone I know, and they're all going to come, and all my friends will come, and they will have such a lovely time, and it will be my birthday about me. But no, nobody. It was, and by that time I was at college, university, so most of my friends were not in the area anyway. They couldn't have come. But because it coincides with the Easter holidays, I didn't have a lovely birthday with my friends in college. I had a rubbish birthday at home, feeling miserable because my parents were messed up and angry because their party hadn't got in, and my brother was like a teenager and miserable, and he didn't want to party. And I was just like, well, can't I just have a party anyway? It's like, no, you had a party when you were 18. I was like, that doesn't count. So birthdays, pretty much horrible. Every single day, horrible birthdays. So I try to pretend that I like them. But, the whole thing about appearance and whether you're getting older or whatever, is of course you're getting older. And is that a problem, right? There's this whole thing about aging in Hollywood and stuff, and the fact that men can age and they're just distinguished and sexy. And then there was Justine Bateman, I think, who's Jason Bateman, who's very young for his age, but Justine Bateman was talking about how she's not bothered about aging. And everyone's like, oh, well, good on her, old woman. It's just like, what? She looks perfectly fine. But it's like, oh, yeah. It's just she's old now. It's like, I don't think that's really very sad. That's really sad. I don't think that's very good, is it? It's very bad. Now, I do not I take part in this whole rigmarole about beauty and gender, and I'm not part of society. I'm away from that. It's like whatever your standards are, I'm not that. I'm not gonna play your silly games. But it still does affect you, even if you're like, I'm like, well, but I want to be beautiful. It's like, I don't really care. Obviously, you haven't made much effort for it, but you call your friend old woman all the time. Exactly. Especially funny if it's like a 21-year-old man or something. It's not really funny though, is it? It's not funny. It's just like, I don't know, being called old is a young man of 38. Exactly. It's like, oh, old woman, ha ha ha. But it's an insult, but it's funny. It's a funny insult because there's nothing more funny than being an old woman, is it? It's just, it's like, you're old crone. It's like you are the evil in the world and the comedy at the same time. It's like, it's just not fair. Like, when I was a kid, I remember the people on television, the funny women, old crone. It's like, Hilda Baker. Oh, she knows, that's not a good Hilda Baker impression. But anyway, the women that were funny on television, there were a lot of older women, like 60 and above, or they might have been younger. They just acted like they were older because it's, I think some of them, like Pat Coombs and there was a lot of people called Pat. You say it's my birthday, I do say it's my birthday, happy birthday. And they were older women and they were funny, and it didn't matter that they weren't beautiful. Les Dawson, exactly. It's like, it was, that's the whole thing, the trope of the funny, foul-mouthed old woman, and you could be that. Like, when I was younger, that was something that they did put on the television. You don't really get that anymore. What do you get now? You get Mrs. Brown now, Mrs. Brown's Boys, and that person is the only person who does the funny old woman with the foul mouth trope, and that woman is an Irishman called Brendan. Not that I've got anything against people dressing up as the gender that they're not, but it would be nice to have equality and have other people as well. I'm saying nothing about Mrs. Brown's Boys because some people like it and I know them, and some people don't and I know them, and I'm out of it because I'm not taking part in this silly divisiveness. Devised theatreness. No, because some people really adore something and some people hate it, and never the twain shall meet. Now, I'm not of the Mrs. Brown's Boys is funny persuasion, but I'm not going to. Yes, Mrs. Brown did have a lovely daughter, but I'm not going. I mean, Agnes Brown it had Angelica Houston. So Angelica Houston played that character before Brendan O'Carroll, even though Brendan O'Carroll created it, obviously, a long time ago. The first person that played it in a very wide, sort of well-seen thing was Angelica Houston. It's bizarre. It's like, this is a very, well, probably, I've not seen that film, Agnes Brown. I've not seen it. But I get the impression it's fairly serious. Probably got comedy aspects to it, but it's like light and shade and everything. And then it's like a rip-roaring, silly comedy on, oh, Mrs. Brown. It's like, what? So it's nice that it's had a shelf life and stuff. And the whole thing is, like, I think there should be more older women on the television. And they don't have to be beautiful, but they can be, because the world is the world. But also, there's nothing wrong with a bit of drag, and that's probably the only good thing about Mrs. Brown's Boys, even though it is a bit weird and probably not the best show in the world, but some people like it, so whatever. It's just like, the people that like it are very vehemently, and the people that don't like it are very vehemently, nobody can ever like it, it's the worst thing ever. It's like, people have got different tastes. We have to experience different things in the world, and let Loki calling it terrible, and so I don't like it, but it doesn't mean that other people don't. I've met people that do, that actually extol its virtues. Is that the right words? Yes, they really do. They really do. I mean, even my parents that liked it tried to watch Mrs. Brown, the movie, and could not make it through the first 5 minutes. So I think that universally nobody likes that movie. But some people really do like it. It wouldn't be on the TV all the time. And also I've heard that it's classist and also British culture is just looking down on Irish culture if you don't like it. So, it's like some people are going to get a lot from it. So, that's the thing with everything. Even if you don't like it, somebody probably does. Now, I do take issue with something that you like that makes an active effort to put down the other things that people like and make that, that's a different thing. As long as you're not hurting anyone, who's to say you're wrong? If you are hurting somebody, then you're wrong. But if you're not, keep going, strong. Because, what is wrong? What is right? There's a lot of bad in the world, and I don't think we should be divisive and set ourselves up as the arbiters of what other people should be doing. Except other people shouldn't be actively making other people's lives so miserable that they're in danger, obviously. But apart from that, the world is a circle without a beginning. The world is big. The world is a moon. The balloon is a moon. The moon is a balloon, and everything's great. I just seen that Doctor Who where the moon is an egg. And to be honest, that was a bit weird. And not the best Doctor Who that I've ever seen. I am enjoying Doctor Who. We've been watching it, or the newer series, from the beginning. So we're that far into it. The Peter Capaldi, the world is flat, is it? Okay. The world is flat, like a flatbread, which puffs up when you heat it up. So the world is round again. The world is what you think. Now, is the world flat or is the world round? Well, there are some scientists that say that everything's flat. So there you go. We're all 2D and we're just a projection. Or we're all a picture in somebody's minds. We're all electrical energy. We've all come from one point in space and burst outwards. We are the world, we are the children. So, if we are just an illusion and a projection or the dream of a dog or whatever, or a flea on the back of a smaller flea, a bigger flea, whatever, then maybe it is. It's whatever shape you want it to be, as long as you don't start persecuting me for thinking otherwise, because that will not be great, and I will not be happy, especially in my birthday week where I'm already thinking about the nature of mortality. I'm lost in space without a parachute. And what shall I do? I don't know. Wow. Yes, they did make a movie. I'm going back a little bit. They made a movie of Mrs. Brown's moon. Mrs. Brown's moon. Mrs. Brown on the moon. Don't say it. Your words to Brendan O'Carroll's head. He's going to get ideas and he's going to do it. What I like about that show, I don't like much about that show. What I do like about Mrs. Brown's Boys is that he's given lots of jobs to all his family and friends, which is nice. It's like a nice thing to do. The fact that none of them can act is beside the point, really, though. None of them can act, especially his wife. Now, sorry, I shouldn't be putting ill in the world. I'm sure she's a very lovely person, and she's an older woman, so that's fine. She's not playing an older woman, she's playing Kathy. I know a lot about Mrs. Brown's Boys because it's one of those shows that is on a lot, and I have seen it even though I'm not watching it. You know what I mean? Like when you go home, it's like Doctors, it's like a soap opera that's in the daytime, which my mum watches. So I've seen a lot of Doctors episodes, even though I'm not a fan of Doctors. So, yes, I am the new Prime Minister. How did you know? I'm the new Prime Minister. I'm the king of the world. I'm everything you want me to be. I'm everything. Everything is me. I'm every person. That's me. I'm the Prime Minister of everywhere. That's what I am. So this week, like I say, is my birthday, and so I'm going to have to suck it up, really. It's my birthday and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change your birthday. You can change a lot about yourself, but you can't change your birthday. You're stuck with that. There's a lot of things that people say you can't change, and there are some things, but your birthday's not one of the ones you can change. Unfortunately, you are stuck with being the age you are. I did see a clip of some idiot that wanted to change his birthday from being, he wanted to be in his early 40s when he's actually in his late 60s. It's like, well, good luck with that. I mean, you can look younger, you can tell people you're younger, you can do all of that. You can, all sorts of stuff. You can probably do, I've heard that you can do gene therapy in the future to make your cells go back to what they were. And then, yes, you are youthful and you are youngish looking, you are regenerated, very much like Doctor Who, but it doesn't mean, I mean, Doctor Who's more than 2,000 years old at this point, very much more so since the whole, the timeless child thing. Who knows? He's infinite. They're infinite. Doctor Who is infinite, but he can't change. They can't change. How do you refer to Doctor Who? They, because there's many of them, and they are very different, every one of them. They can't change who they were to start with in terms of when they were born. When were they born? You don't know. But apart from that, a lot of things about Doctor Who has changed, obviously. So that has changed. Doctor Who can change, but I don't know where I'm going with that, but Doctor Who is going to be old. Unless he meets himself in a previous regeneration, and then she's them and they're older than her, and she's younger than them and he's younger than her. I don't know what's happening the 60th anniversary. They'll all get together. That's another thing. Another joke. That all of the doctors are going to get together and they're all going to be in the 60th anniversary. What a joke, what a wheeze, that's hilarious. There were a lot of Doctor Who related April the 1st jokes that weren't jokes. That's the thing about practical jokes. Even, right, if it's a really effective practical joke that people believe, then that's just cruel because you've misled people. If it's a really stupid, boring practical joke, what's the point? If it's something that's feasible, and why are you lying about it? That's all you're doing, is lying. It's not a joke. You're just making things up for no reason. Which is, I've got the problem with the modern satire these days. A satire has got to be based in reality, but silly enough that you can sort of believe it, but ridiculous for a reason. And it's like, what? Ugh. But these days, the satire that people put up is just something that could happen. It's like, this thing's happened. You believed me. How can you believe me? It's like, because that's very conceivable. It's like Donald Trump's been arrested for all sorts of things, and he's been indicted. That's funny. Oh, it's true. Okay, whatever. It's like things that are likely to happen is not satire. It's just deceptive to say them. And that's why the internet is rubbish these days. Oh, I don't know. Laura Adventure. Oh, Blind Coffin Canyon. Yes, I will look that up. Yes, I've gone to the canyons of my mind. I mean, I probably am not going to do many walks when I go home 2 weeks. Because unless they're really, thank you, because unless it's really close, like I did when I went home last summer, I managed to just walk and walk and walk, and I walked all day. But I was looking back at some of the video I didn't use. I thought, I didn't use that, I'll put it out. And I look absolutely as rough as old boots, more than usual, because I was exhausted. I'd gone up a mountain and got lost. And was like, what the hell? And I'd gone back down the mountain again, and I was like, I'm going to carry on going. And I carried on going and carried on going. And I visited the cemetery and my grandparents' graves and everything, which I'm not going to put up as video because I didn't make video in a cemetery. That would have been probably insensitive. But I made video of a lot of things that I didn't put up, and I looked terrible. So I did go for a very long walk, but I was so tired by the end of it. By the end of the day, I was like, I've got to get some water. So I stopped at a garage shop and I was like, I need to drink some water. I've been out all day and haven't had anything to eat. I'm so thirsty. I'm going to die. It was a nice long walk, but it was exhausting and I looked terrible. So I don't know. Maybe the weather's going to be good, but who knows? But I keep laying awake at night going, all the things that I haven't done that I should do, which is made worse with this birthday week coming up, because it's like all comes into sharp relief. It's like, oh, the things I should be doing. Like, I've got a couple of projects on the go at the moment, but I'm like, it's not enough. And then everything's all at once. Everything everywhere all at once, or nothing at all, ever. So, it's my birthday. I'm going to have to relax a little bit. I'm going to have to tune this guitar because it's a little bit out as well. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you very much. I've got to dash. Oh, well, I've got to dash too, Philip. So go to the phone call. Have a great week, you too, as well. Happy birthday to anyone whose birthday it is. And have a lovely day, week. Have a lovely Passover. Have a lovely Easter. Have a lovely Ramadan. Have a lovely... There's a lot going on this week, isn't it? Have a lovely everything. Yay! I'm sure there's other things, but I can't think of them now. But have all of those things. See you very soon. Bye-bye.